What is your American dream?
My American dream is one day opening my Fifth Avenue craft couture shop, classy men and women's style. The first African-inspired clothes and accessories on Fifth Avenue. Right in front of Trump Tower.
Successful and free, you know? Yeah, it's all about being successful.
My American dream is to be one of the best known chef there is. Yeah, that's where I want to be now. I want to be known.
And to be the best I can be.
My dream is to be with my family and be able to take care of my family the best way I possibly can. I've had 2 more children since I've come here, and being in the United States has its benefits for my children.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Groundhog Sam! All right, Lucky, you keep sniffing. Let me know if you see anything. I'm gonna get this DNA evidence and put it in the Exhibit A bag. Oh, hi everybody! Groundhog Sherlock Sam here. If you recall, we are on a manhunt or woman hunt to find out who has been moving the cameras in the studio. Lucky's doing her sniffing, and me, I've just gathered evidence, genetic evidence. There's a hair in this Exhibit A bag, and now we're gonna see who it matches. Come with us. Come on, Lucky, let's go. Our first suspect is Nikisha. Come on, let's go see. Yeah, that Nikisha, you never know about her. No, don't mind me at all. Oh no, Nikisha has red hair and this is brown, so it's obviously not Nikisha. Okay, Nikisha, you're in the clear. Thank you for participating. Okay, Lucky. Okay, so that's good, Lucky. Nikisha is in the clear. We can keep going looking for who it might be. Hey, Lucky, where did my Watson go? Okay, Brad Squad, our next suspect is Alan. You always gotta keep your eye on Alan, so I think he could definitely be the culprit. Let's go see. Oh, hello, Alan. Somebody's been moving the cameras in the studio. See, I have genetic evidence right here. However, on closer scrutiny, I realize you have no hair.
You're right.
This means you are not going to be a suspect anymore. All right, thank you for being part of the investigation. You are now free to go.
Okay,
Okay. Hey, Lucky, I think I have an idea of who it could be. You know that Jenny from the cubicle? She got in on eating the client's snacks with me, so, you know, you gotta watch her too. Hello, Jennifer.
Hi, Sam.
Can I just get a little closer to you? Could you bend your head down, please? Jennifer! Were you moving the cameras in the studio?
No.
You say no, but the evidence says otherwise, Missy! Come on, spill the beans.
I'm sorry, I tripped over them.
Oh my God, are you okay?
I am, but I moved the cameras.
Oh, Jennifer, that's okay. I'm just glad you're all right. I really won't tell Brad this time because, you know, it was an accident. Well, this is excellent because now Lucky and my job is done. We have cracked the case of who moved the cameras in the studio. And the perpetrator is Jenny from the cubicle, but it was an accident, so we're not going to press any charges. Anyway, did you miss yesterday's episode of Brad Show Live? Well, in case you did, Brad spoke to dairy farmer Cor Mulder, who came to the United States from Holland in 2001 with his wife and 2 sons. They were on an E-2 visa, and even though they have grown a family business that brings in $3.5 million a year into the community, and they've lived here for 18 years, they still have not been able to find a pathway to citizenship. And now that their 2 sons have aged out at age 21, Cor has made a terribly hard decision to close up the dairy farm in Minnesota and move back to Holland with his sons. We wish the best for the Mulder family and that Cor will be able to keep his farm in Minnesota and stay in the United States. And now's the time you've all been waiting for. It's time for Brad Show Live, starring Brad Bernstein with co-host Belgium Kim and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias. Enjoy the show. Man, I feel like I should get some kind of promotion around here for being such a super sleuth. Good job, Lucky Watson.
Welcome, everybody. April 17th. And, of course, we are live on YouTube at Spar Bernstein, YouTube/Spar Bernstein. And, of course, we are perhaps live on Facebook. We're not sure. We're having a little technical difficulties on Facebook. So for all those on Facebook who don't see the show, we're terribly sorry. What can we say, right?
We can't tell you anything.
We can't tell you anything because you can't see us. Exactly. And welcome Belgium Kim and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias. And Jilly says we're live on Facebook now. I don't know what happened. That's weird.
I see us live on Facebook.
Yeah, it's going up now.
It's going up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
We were having some technical difficulties, people.
It happens.
As Kim was saying before the show was starting, people, we're having technical difficulties.
Fire.
That's why,
chaos.
basically, that was it. I go,
right.
Kim, you can't yell in my ear like this, man.
Listen, this top was not red when I started the day, Brad. It is now.
All right, well, it is Hump Day, everybody, and we got to get into our Hump Day news. We got a lot to do, but first, let's say hello to the squad on Facebook. Very low viewership. I think we're having problems with Facebook Live today, but let me say hello to the people who are there. Willie L. Williams, testing 1, 2, 3. That's what we were saying too, Willie. And N. Saram Rizarf says, hey guys, happy Hump Day, Mia Montauk. How are you? Maybe we have Mia's dog today. What do you think?
I believe we hopefully
should have Mia's dog today. I hope. We have Anna K. Maxim, Marjorie Thompson, and Sean Boone Jr., also known as Party Rock.
Yeah.
Now here on YouTube we have Bevan Smith. How are you? Suresh Vikram saying hello. Marcine Frazier. Cece Mitchell saying no show on Facebook today. Well, apparently not. Zachary E. Overcoming says hi. I enjoyed the show yesterday. This is my second live show.
Whoa.
Oh, thank you. I enjoyed the show yesterday too.
Good one.
Danny Contreras, how are you? Zone Powell, Ken Kim. I would enjoy it more if Facebook actually put us on live. Joelle Ann Reed, Facebook is down. Yep, it certainly is. Sandra Salinas, how are you? And Carol, the Top Cat Tigress 2 Anderson, Rococo Chocolat, Marge Higgs. Who's ready for Hump Day?
Woo,
Maybe
woo.
Facebook.
Yes.
Maybe Facebook just didn't want an X-rated immigration show.
You know I'm excited about
You know,
something.
they have a lot of issues there at Facebook. Maybe they said, you know what, we don't put on X-rated immigration shows anymore. Right?
What, how many were there?
I was gonna say
How many X-rated?
Yeah.
There was the time that I twerked.
Oh, you're talking about
Just
our,
this show.
Our
yeah,
show.
Our show.
Right.
Like, how many
Yes,
other
all right.
X-rated
I
immigration shows?
twerked one day. That was definitely PG-13.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
We never had an R-rated one. We never showed any skin here.
That's true. No,
Right?
we have not. No, we have not.
Y'all tried to get me to.
We tried to
That's
get
true,
you to
we
take
have.
your shirt
That's
off,
true,
though.
we
That
have.
is very true.
For a
That is
while,
very
was an
true.
intent.
For a while.
That
That was like my good 6 months, first 6 months of working here.
This surely will get Jonathan to take his shirt off.
But
God. Way to stay strong.
before we go, maybe I'll tell you what. Maybe I'll take my shirt off once I hit the Brad challenge.
Oh.
What do you think about that?
Absolutely.
You know, for everybody, before we get into our schmooze and our Hump Day news, I do have to remind everybody that I am losing weight with the squad. We are going to be taking 10% of our body fat, our body weight off in something we are calling here the Brad Challenge. I challenge everybody who watches to take 10% of their body weight off. I am going to be weighing myself every day on the show. There is our scale, and today's weight is Belgium Kim, 177.4 pounds. I've taken off a total of 2.5 pounds so far. I am down. I need to get to 162 pounds in another 5.5 weeks, or my name is not Uncle Brad.
That's
All right? They will take my name away, Uncle Brad, if I don't get down to 162 pounds. Belgium Kim, how's the squad doing?
The squad is doing well, although you know what? I don't know that they're very proud of their progress because
Why?
no one is sending me updates.
Then it's just going to be me alone.
Guys.
Yes. Meanwhile, we've tried to do this segment 3 days in a row now, and maybe today we're going to get it right. We have a new segment here on our show. We tried to do it on Monday. Little technical difficulty.
Slightly.
We tried to do it on Tuesday. We got a little further into it, except we put up the wrong dog.
Right, wrong dog.
Okay?
Wrong
But today, I am told,
Yeah.
We have cracked all of our issues.
The right dog.
We
Brad.
have the right dog. We have the right Brad Squad member.
Oh, yeah.
It's something that we are going to be starting today now, called Get to Know the Brad Squad. Today's, hey, I like that. And today we're going to get to know Mia Montauk. Now, Mia Montauk lives in Atlanta, Georgia. There she is right there. Aww. She lives in Atlanta, Georgia, and she loves animals. As a matter of fact, I know she loves animals because I was texting with her Sunday on Instagram. Mm-hmm. All of the Brad Squad members who are friends with me on Instagram, you have free access to Brad 24 hours a day at Real Brad Bernstein. I may regret that
you are gonna
when I get inundated with Uncle Brad questions.
Yes.
But at the moment, you have free access to Brad at Real Brad Bernstein. So what Mia Montauk told me when we were texting each other, and she didn't even have any legal questions. She just wanted to chat, shoot the breeze. She loves animals, and she said that she and her dog Mia. Her name is Mia. There she is right there. Mia the dog she loves, and they were batting down the hatches. And we have a picture of Mia. She says not only is this dog cute, but the dog also knows how to drive. We have pictures of the dog driving. I am concerned for Mia. I am concerned for our Brad Squad member in the passenger seat while Mia the dog is driving. So that we learned a little bit about Mia Montauk that we didn't know anything about before.
And she's in Atlanta, right?
She is in Atlanta.
Okay, so no getting in cars in Atlanta because Mia Montauk's dog
is
driving
the car. That is right. And before we get into our schmooze, Belgium Kim and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias, why don't you tell everybody to please share this and let's get our numbers up, and then we're going to get right into schmooze and hump day. How's that?
Okay, on Facebook, fam, we need you guys to share. Today is more important than ever because Facebook is having fun with you. So, that's adorable. If you can make sure to share the show, like it, comment, and when you share, make sure to share it in private messages. Make sure to share it to multiple people at a time, to groups, and just let them know what they can find right here, right now. It's going to be an immigration show. They're going to get their answers, and they're going to get all their hump day news today. There's nowhere else they're going to find that. And you know your favorite is hump day, just like ours. So make sure to let us know exactly how you're thinking and feeling about everything we're talking about in the comments with all of your thoughts and feelings. And on YouTube, what are we going to do, Yo-Yo?
On YouTube, it's just as important to share. So what you guys are going to do is just click that little arrow where it says share and share it to your social media pages, but most importantly, what we want you to do is share it in a WhatsApp group. So you already know your WhatsApp application. Just create a group, send it, copy the link, paste it, send it. Anybody that you think might benefit from this or just be entertained. It also helps us grow with the show. The show grows when we get more people and more subscribers. So make sure you also subscribe on YouTube and tell your friends and family to also subscribe on YouTube. You guys know I always call you out whenever you're asking questions for your friends and your family. I want to make sure that they're watching as well because that helps us. All right, and of course, everybody that's watching right now, I want you guys to click that thumbs up. We don't have too many up right now. We only have 4. So I need to see way more because it's 61 people. So Kim just did it, and I want to see you guys do it as well. All right, and now for our next segment, we are going to schmooze with the Brad.
By the way, Carol, the Top Cat Tigress Anderson says, yes, take it off, Brad, the shirt.
Ooh.
When I get to 162, I'll show the 1-pack. I don't know if I'm going to have a 6-pack.
Do some sit-ups while you're doing it, too.
Maybe we'll do a whole show of sit-ups. Okay, every time somebody asks a social media question, I do a sit-up. I give the answer and then go back down.
Right, you do a sit-up though, right? Because if not, I'm planning to be sick really soon. I'm planning to be so ill.
Right.
Are you feeling
yes,
that? Oh my God,
I would do a sit-up. I'd be like, can't catch my breath. Give me a minute. I'll answer that question in a second. So meanwhile, the French Prime Minister has announced a competition to rebuild the Notre Dame Cathedral, the iconic spire that got lost in the fire. France's Prime Minister has announced an international architecture competition to rebuild the iconic arrow-like spire atop the Notre Dame Cathedral. He says Should we reconstruct an arrow the same, adapted to the techniques and challenges of our time? An international architecture competition for the reconstruction of the cathedral spiral will be organized. And that was by French Prime Minister Edouard Philippe. He wrote on Twitter. Now, the French President Emmanuel Macron announced that this cathedral will be completely rebuilt within 5 years, or his name is not President Emmanuel Macron.
Right.
That's exactly what he said.
Right.
Now, the two richest families in France have donated, the second richest family, I forgot his name.
Betancourt.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
He donated $100 million to rebuild the Notre Dame Cathedral. Not to be outdone, because there is a competition between the richest man and second richest man.
Of course.
They want to pull down, I guess, since it's hump day, we could say it like this. They could pull down their pants and swing it and see whose is bigger.
Right.
Right? And the guy who's the richest, what's his name?
L'Oréal.
Right. He says, mine is bigger. I'm going to donate $200 million to rebuild the cathedral. On top of that, many people have donated money as well to rebuild the cathedral. Many from France, some from around the world, many from France. They have raised over, in I think, was this 24 hours, over $900 million in donations or proposed donations to rebuild Notre Dame Cathedral.
Wow.
Now, what's going on in France, if you remember watching Bradshaw Live, I was just in Paris. They have something called the Yellow Jackets, and the Yellow Jackets are protesting what is in essence a tax, a carbon tax. It started with the truckers. They were protesting a carbon tax to help prevent global warming. And they were going to tax gasoline and all sorts of carbon footprints. And as a result, the truckers said, hey, that's not fair, because that tax is a tax that goes to poor people, middle-class people, and rich people alike. It's not a gradual tax where rich people are paying more for their gas than poor people.
Right.
So it actually hurts poor people more than it hurts rich people.
Right.
What does a rich person care if he pays an extra $1 a gallon?
Right.
They don't have gallons in France, but whatever it is.
Liters.
Liters. Okay, but if a poor person or a middle-class person is paying an extra euro, because they don't have dollars either, or whatever the tax was, or €2 per gallon, especially if you're a trucker or a taxi cab driver, and this is how you make your living, that really hurts.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, because you're filling your car, your truck up every day. And that's what caused these Yellow Jacket riots to begin with.
Right.
Okay, which is the same pressure point or nerve that Donald Trump hit with many of the people who voted for him as well. Not in the cities, but in the rural areas.
Yep.
Okay, so now that the richest person in France and the second richest person in France have donated $300 million, and that most of France has come in and donated, a lot of wealthy people have donated, they have reached over $900 million. People on Twitter and in social media, and many people in the media in France are saying, wait a second, this is exactly what the Yellow Jackets were protesting against.
Right.
They can raise $900 million to rebuild a cathedral, but they don't have any money to offset a carbon tax that's going to hit the poor and middle class. And they're calling it the Les Miserables. They're calling themselves the Les Miserables after Les Miserables, the Broadway show, the musical, the movie,
Yes.
and the book,
And the
which
book.
it was originally taken after, where the poor and middle class from the 1800s rose up to fight the bourgeois.
Wow.
Right.
The bourgeois in France. And here they're saying very similar things. The bourgeois, the rich, they in by a stroke of one Twitter response said, I'm going to give $300 million between the two of them.
Right.
But now, where was this when they were going to raise the carbon tax? Why didn't you just tax them to $300 million and you didn't have to?
Wow.
You didn't have to. We didn't have to go and protest and get killed at the gas pump. You know, working class people.
Right. Interestingly enough, Les Miserables was also written by Victor Hugo, who wrote The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh,
that's very cool. I did
know.
not know that.
There's a little
something.
I thought so. As you were
right.
saying that, I was like, wait, this is both Victor Hugo.
So the whole thing is playing out.
Yeah.
That there's been complete unrest. When I was in Paris a week ago, there were streets you couldn't go down. Not because the street was unsafe a month ago, but because there were protesters now, and I don't want to get involved in a protest, and, and they're breaking windows and throwing things, and that's I'm a public person, like I'm staying away from there, but yeah, I protect everything, and but look at some of these protests, and now the protesters and the Les Miserables of France are saying, wait a second. $300 million they were able to raise from two of the richest people in France. Where were these rich people when we're protesting, when the president of France, Emmanuel Macron, says we're going to raise the carbon tax, we're going to raise, and that's going to hit everybody, and it hits everybody unequally.
Right.
All right, because when you get in the United States, there's a gradual tax. As you make more money, your tax rate goes up because the presumption is that it should affect you equally as somebody else.
Right.
If there's a flat tax, and everyone gets the same tax, 10%.
Right.
What is somebody who makes $10 million? So what? So you pay 10%. But somebody who makes $20,000 pays 10%. That's got to hurt.
That hurts a lot.
That hurts a lot more than somebody who makes $10 million.
So here's my question. Maybe I'm diving too deep, Brad, so tell me. But then where does climate change fit into that? Because I agree with you that a carbon tax is regressive because it's going to impact everyone like that. But the reason that France tried to pass this carbon tax in the first place was to meet the goals in the Paris Climate Accords.
Yes, but there's a way to progressively do it. Listen, I'm no Bernie Sanders, But there's a way to progressively do it. So if you say, you know what, we want to change people's behavior. And the behavior we want to change is we want people to walk, we want people to take bicycles, we want people to have electric cars, we want to burn less fossil fuel.
Right.
Tax the hell out of it.
Right.
No problem.
Yeah.
But then on the same token, reduce your taxes somewhere else from the poor and middle class.
Right.
So they're not hit in the pocketbook.
Right.
So you want to change somebody's behavior, that's fine.
Right.
I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
You know what? Tax the hell out of gasoline. But then go reduce my taxes somewhere else so that I have the same money in my pocket at the end of the day.
As before. That makes sense.
That's what people in France are saying right now. And they say, well, how do all of a sudden these rich people have $300 million to go rebuild Notre Dame, which is very nice, don't get me wrong.
Right. No, but
where were they? Where were they 3 months ago when we're protesting and everyone's getting hit? They're not paying taxes on that $300 million.
Absolutely. Thank you. That answered my question.
All right. Meanwhile, ruling by the Attorney General means 1,000 more migrants are going to be sitting in jail. The Attorney General said that every person who comes to the border and applies for asylum is going to sit in jail, even whether they're a criminal or not.
What?
Yes. Thousands of asylum seekers who once have been let out on bond or on their own recognizance to come back for a hearing will now sit in jail. Why? It's a punishment. The United States is now punishing you for escaping violence, escaping your life. They are now punishing you by coming to the United States and applying for asylum.
That's crazy.
Michael, due to the limited capacity of the jails, they need more tent cities. Barr said this is going to go into effect in 90 days.
Oh my
now, I can tell you as a lawyer, that's going to go right into federal court.
Right.
I don't need Abadir sues the government to tell you that. Okay, but we could do a whole thing about Abadir sues the government on that as well. Okay, which is why I always say that, these BIA decisions, these immigration officers, they're at the whim of the president.
Right.
Whatever the president and the attorney general says, that's what they do. Slow down the immigration cases, slow it down. Deny cases, deny them. The only way you get justice is when you go into federal court. Right now, these days. You don't get justice with the Department of Homeland Security. You don't get justice with the Immigration Service. You get justice by going into federal court. As a matter of fact, Michael Tan, an attorney for the ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, said his organization and others are preparing to sue the Trump government as it is.
So what exactly do they want them to do, though? Like, if
not come here.
Yeah. So
they want them not to come here.
So
they want them.
Do they even give any type of advice of like, okay, don't come here when you want to seek asylum? Like, but what are they supposed to do when they're trying to? They don't care.
They don't give a shit. Donald Trump says it's not my problem.
To me.
It's not my problem, and I don't got to give them advice on what to do. Just stay in your own country, get killed, get raped, get beat up, be scared to walk in the streets because of gang violence, whatever their problems may be.
And it's exactly like you always say, if he's creating a problem even more, because what do you think that putting thousands of people in a detention center that don't belong there is going to do? Like, you're going to just keep creating more animosity towards this country, more problems with people who are being housed in these detention centers, which are probably violating human rights at some point or another. What are you doing? This is solving nothing.
And Donald Trump says, stay home. Basically what he's saying, stay home, we have no room for you.
Right.
Now, I don't know if you've ever driven out of New York City.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
And I used to drive from New York City all the way out to Michigan. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of room out there, and I haven't even hit all those states. You want facts? I got a flat tire on Route 80 in Pennsylvania near the Ohio border, and I want you to know I sat on that roadway for 3 hours before a human being came by.
Not a soul.
Not a soul came by, and it was pitch dark, and Brad Bernstein had to change his tire himself, and if anybody knows anything about Brad Bernstein, he don't know how to change a damn tire.
I was about to say, you know how to change a tire?
I wish back then there was a bunch of asylum seekers walking down the street to help me.
Okay.
And they would have probably been
very
nice.
So the point of the matter is there's lots of freaking room all over the United States of America. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Well, I think he's talking about the detention centers that he has now said he wants to put more people in. It's ridiculous. I don't understand.
And good news.
Good news, yeah.
And good news, Beyonce has finally dropped an album.
That's a great
Right,
news.
the world has stopped. I thought the world stopped for many reasons, but apparently, according to this card, the world only stops for Beyonce. Nobody else.
It does.
It does not stop for anything else.
It stops for Beyonce.
It stops for Beyonce, and the fans were going crazy because she dropped her album Homecoming, which is
not even a real
which is
album.
also a documentary,
it's all live,
which is also a documentary, and it's also her live performance from Coachella, being the first black woman to headline the festival.
Right.
It offers an intimate look at Beyonce prepared to headline the festival. 40 tracks on the album.
I think,
and it's all her own stuff.
It's all her own stuff. It's just live.
Yeah. That's cool.
But did you see that on Genius, the website Genius, for the music,
love that.
There is an unreleased album that shows for Beyonce, and I think it was like 15 tracks or 16 tracks, and one of the tracks has Rihanna.
Oh no! Did you can listen to it?
No, it's not released yet.
Oh, it's it was like an article. So.
No, it's not an article. On Genius, they list different albums. This one all says unreleased.
Oh, so we don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah, but it has all the titles.
Right. So Beyonce and Rihanna's track
has a track.
Right,
and Beyonce and Solange have a track together too.
That would really, really, really.
So everybody's going crazy because that's what I really care about. I feel like
I don't care about this.
I don't care about this because she knows how to finagle people so much. Like she makes money off of crazy stuff. She did a whole tour with the same music. Like 4 different times, and people still go.
Oh, I was sad I missed the second of those four.
So are you disagreeing with what's written here? The world did not stop because of this.
No, they did.
It didn't matter.
She controls the world.
She controls the world.
It didn't stop my world.
I see.
I see. I got a really, really, really controversial Beyonce hot take yesterday that I got to get you guys' opinion on. This is what I was told by another human. I respect Beyonce's position in the world as a woman and very much admire that, but I do not find Beyonce attractive.
Well, that's just dumb.
Then that person needs to go to a ophthalmologist. Right. All right, she's one of the most beautiful women. Period.
All right. You know what? I wholeheartedly agree.
That woman, that guy needs to.
That's the guy who said it.
Yeah. That guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
You know what? No, he does. He probably just wants to be famous or talked about because listen, we're talking about him now because that sounds absolutely absurd.
Come on.
Look at her.
Come on.
Look at her. I
Like,
gotta be honest.
come on.
I struggled.
Come on.
I struggled to wrap my
Come
brain
on.
around it as
Yeah.
well.
Come on.
I needed to know what the other straight male perspective was.
There is no straight male perspective on there.
I thought it was unanimous
Common
as
sense.
well.
All right. The only straight male perspective is everybody wants to be Jay-Z. He's married to Beyonce, he's rich, and he's a really good performer. He's got the life, okay?
The life.
So that's basically
Lord,
it, right?
Lord.
I'm on board with everything you guys are
Self-made.
Right. Now that's
real- the
self-made.
real
Now that is
self-made.
real
Yes,
self-made,
that's
right?
Uh-huh.
So meanwhile, Ariana Grande, also self-made,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Right.
Okay, she's sharing a terrifying scan on Instagram, showing her post-traumatic stress disorder levels in her brain after the terrorist attack at her concert in
Yeah.
Manchester, England in 2017. She says the post-traumatic stress disorder brain on the right side of the photo shows. I don't know. We have this photo. We should have a photo somewhere. It's coming. It's coming. There it is. Okay. So she says on the right side of the photo shows a bunch of highlighted regions of the brain that are impacted by the disorder, while the healthy brain on the left is mostly dark. It's not a joke, and I don't want to make a joke about this, but I wish it was actually Ariana Grande's doctor who was telling this
tweeted this?
who was telling me this, because a lot of times you go to a doctor, you don't even understand what the doctor says, and you always get it wrong anyway, which is why you always want 2 or 3 people to come and listen to what the doctor says.
Right.
So this is what Ariana Grande is telling us that she believes the doctor told her.
Right. Okay.
What?
You understand what I'm
I
saying?
mean,
No.
she's showing her.
She's
her
showing her brain.
scan.
She's showing her brain, and she's showing that the left side of her brain is frazzled because of post-traumatic stress disorder, and on the right side it's not frazzled. And this is what somebody told her. It's not a joke, and I'm not making a joke about it,
Yeah.
but
When
the
you say
reality
somebody
is the
told
reality.
her,
The
but what do you
reality.
mean?
What do you mean? Her doctor told her. I
Yeah.
mean, but the reality is, I have no idea if she's telling if this is correct or not. I would like to see this from a doctor if she really wants to make a.
Well, I mean, those
a
are
valid point
X-rays
about it.
right there, aren't they?
Yeah, but how do you know? I mean, she knows how to read an MRI scan.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's
Come on.
Like you
Who said hilarious and terrifying?
She said she did it. This was on her. This was
What
her
does that
post.
mean?
She was just like, "This is hilarious that you can see PTSD so clearly." And then a bunch of people were like, "How dare you say hilarious?" And then she wrote, "Not a joke." On
It's
the
not a
bottom.
joke. It's not a joke, and I'm not making a joke about it.
No.
Okay, but I will say this. I will say I don't know what I'm looking at. You know, when I'm
Fair,
relying on
and that's
Ariana
fair.
Grande to
Give you medical advice.
interpret her an MRI.
Right.
You know, I think that's a little beyond her scope of,
You know,
knowledge.
She has had a lot of stuff happen to
Yeah.
her recently as well. So,
Yeah.
like, you know, her ex-boyfriend, Mac Miller, committed suicide.
Right.
She broke up with her boyfriend because of that. But that, you know, goes into the whole public figure thing. I actually want to ask the Brad Squad what you guys think about public figures. Do you feel like sometimes they show or give too much personal information on Instagram and Twitter? Or do you feel like they should do that since they are taking on the public figure?
Right, like an example. I'll give you a perfect example. I mean, do you think like some, host of, a well-honored show should be talking about his weight and his weight loss every day for the next 6 weeks?
See, and that's the thing. I mean,
Right? I mean,
'cause
I'm
you
just
can
doing it for
inspire-
fun, but,
yeah,
you know.
you can inspire.
Right,
You
right, I
don't
can
know
inspire,
if you are, but I do
Right.
think that some things need to go back to back in the day when you're at least discreet with your life and not just throwing your whole life.
But Jonathan, you were on a reality show.
Right.
I mean,
And
you
even with
laid
that,
it out.
but
You laid it out.
Even with that, I told them, like, I don't want you guys. Well, I mean, it really depends on what reality show you do. So the one that I did do, I said, listen, we're focusing on business, so don't try and go into personal or don't try and create.
Now, I didn't watch
you know?
every last second of your show. Did they ever get personal? I watched parts of it, but I didn't watch the whole thing.
The most personal it was because of me when somebody got me
You got into
riled
that
up
right.
and
You
I
got
almost
into that
got in
fight
a
with that guy.
Right.
I saw that.
Right,
Yeah.
but like at least it wasn't the producers creating a whole thing.
They didn't
that
tell
was
you that
naturally,
that was naturally
that was
happening.
natural. Yeah.
Right.
So that's what I mean. I do think that being a public figure, you inspire and motivate a lot of people, but you also have to understand that you have so much power with your platform, and some things you just don't need to tell.
Jessica Leamy says public figure, public life.
Yeah.
And Marge Higgs says, I don't give a rat's ass. I see people digging at each other over celebrities, like, seriously.
Right, because they ain't paying your bills. That's why I care less.
That's fair. That's very fair.
They ain't paying my bills. That's for damn sure.
All right, so we got today is Hump Day.
Oh, Lord.
It's the only X-rated immigration comedy hour you'll ever see. Nobody in a million years ever thought of putting together sex, immigration, and comedy. What are you looking at?
Grandma is calling me out.
What?
Yes, she
saying
is.
that pool scene, yo-yo.
What pool scene?
On
Grand
BT's
Hustle.
Grand
Oh,
Hustle.
yeah, she watched it?
That one was a little much.
What happened there?
Oh, I'll show you next time. It's definitely a hump day.
That was a
type
hump
of,
day
episode.
Yeah. All right, so Grandma, on next Wednesday, we are going to be discussing as part of Hump Day Yo-Yo's pool scene.
Yeah.
We are going to dissect
we could probably take it. We could probably show a clip next week.
Yeah, but less than 10 seconds.
Yes.
Right, but we will
You'll see
dissect
why
it. We will
she says
dissect
that.
it from every angle. Right?
I will be excited to see
That was
that.
an episode
We're gonna
I
have
did
to
not
put on.
want
We're gonna
my
have to put
mom
on our
see.
rubber gloves for that
I
one.
was just
Yes.
about to say, did your parents see that? No?
Absolutely, and I tried to get them to not see that, and they did.
All right, do we have a camel today?
It's Hump Day.
Where's our camel?
Hump Day.
There he is.
It's
It is Hump Day.
It
It
is.
is Hump Day. There he is. There he is. So, all right. So, we go from camels to kangaroos.
Right.
All right. Did you see this, Jonathan?
I don't know what you're talking
I'm going to tell you right now. Yeah, all right. A group of bikini-clad women, they were gathered at a Gold Coast, Australia mansion owned by a notorious Australian playboy and millionaire tobacco tycoon. His name is Travers Benyon, also known as the Candyman. Now, we've discussed the Candyman before on here, right?
I believe we have.
Yes. Now, the Candyman has a lot of girlfriends, and that's his thing on Instagram, and he takes pictures with the girls and everything.
Right.
And he supposedly has had sex, as many people as Will Chamberlain or whatever.
Okay.
Or the
Oh,
guy,
God.
the playboy in Italy.
Hugh Hefner?
No, the guy who died.
I forgot what
Right.
his name was.
Oh.
So now there's some hilarious footage posted in the to the Candy Shop Mansion Instagram page. It's the official page of this tycoon, the Candyman, of a photo shoot with his girlfriends, and they brought some kangaroos. The kangaroos got out, and the girls are running for their lives in their bikinis.
Oh my God.
It's,
What?
yes. Fleeing the rogue kangaroos, the models have to jump into the pools, over the fences
That
to
is
escape
hilarious.
the babbles.
That's scary.
Yes,
Kangaroos can
yeah.
whoop that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, they
can
can.
really whoop your butt.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah, he
they
shares
can.
his life with 3 women, his wife of 8 years, and 2 girlfriends. They all receive the same necklaces and same stuff. Plus, he has God knows how many other people that he's having sex with. But but the
crazy.
funniest thing is we can't show it again, can we?
We cannot.
We cannot. Too bad.
That's
That was
it.
so
Sorry.
funny.
That's it.
So Amsterdam, Yo-Yo, which is a place I really want to go to. I've never been.
Really?
Yes, I
Where?
was just
Oh,
discussing
yeah.
it with Ida. That's like a place I want to go.
Yes.
Where?
Amsterdam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they opened up the first 5D porn cinema. Not 3D, not 4D, but count it, 5-dimensional porn cinema.
So I really
Now,
wanna
porn
know what
fans
that
can
looks
watch
like.
their favorite porn movies in 5D. It features bouncing chairs, water cannons to give the daring customers a truly
okay.
immersive experience. Nestled in the red light district, which is the famed X-rated district where prostitution and drugs are legal, this is where this cinema is. The owner, her name is Natalie. She insists the pornographic picture house, dubbed simply 5D porn, is somewhere you can take your loved ones as well. Despite its name, it is in fact a 4D experience that offers 18 viewers at one time the chance to sit through a pornographic movie with 3D visuals, air jets, wind, and water sensations. It's like doing the 4D at Disney, except it's porn.
How does it make it 5D then?
It doesn't. It's really 4D.
It's really
but they call it
4D?
5D would be like they would bring the prostitute along,
Yeah.
and all of a
Basically.
sudden, like the prostitute is like,
Performing
something,
something?
and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I just felt something,
Right.
Right.
That would be 5D,
So
I
that's
guess.
what I'm
Or a
thinking.
smell.
That was.
A smell would be 5D.
I don't know.
Oh.
It says ticking the sensory boxes of sight, sound, movement, and simulation. It does not include taste or smell.
No scratching.
Wait. Grandma just
Yes.
said, holy smokes.
What?
No diseases, no pregnancies, nobody to attack you. I need to go there.
I'm not sure if I would want to go there because you want to know what's going to happen? Right? You
What?
know what used to happen like in the 70s when I was a kid. Not that I would ever go, but I read articles about it. Like in the 70s, before there was like the VCR, men would go to the porn movie houses
to masturbate.
Right.
I
Didn't
mean,
Pee-wee
so maybe
Herman
Marge
like that?
maybe Marge wants to be there with the masturbating 18 people.
I
but
doubt that's what she
I don't know,
means.
but I don't think that's where I want to go.
Lord.
Meanwhile, a man sued his parents for destroying his $29,000 porn collection.
What?
Yeah, a New York man by the name of Jonathan Ellis.
Hey, get out of here.
Kidding.
I was like, wait, what?
An Indiana man. His name is only Charlie.
Charlie.
Yeah, right. That's
it.
his name,
Right.
Charlie. Yeah, claims his parents threw away a stash of porn estimated at $28,940.72.
Come on.
Including more than 400 videotapes, more than 1,600 DVD. This man bought
That's
a lot
ridiculous.
of porn.
That's so
Yeah,
much porn.
he's
Wait, how many
seeking-
VHSs?
It was 400 VHS tapes, 1,600 DVDs,
Come on.
160 plus CDs, and 70 sex toys. Charlie is seeking a total of $86,000, which includes the value of the missing items and the amount it would cost today
Who appraised
to
it?
replace it. Some of the films worthy of inclusion on Charlie's lawsuit by his lawyer included Frisky Business and Big Bad Grannies.
Oh,
my God.
Yes. Frisky Business.
Superman
Star Wars XXX. Oh my God.
Though Charlie stayed with his parents for 10 months, he was asked to leave in August 2017 after he refused to reduce the volume when he was watching his porn collection.
I can't.
Yes. So he left. He left his porn collection there, and then the parents said, "We can't take
Peace.
We can't. We need some peace here. We're throwing it out." A few
Lord.
months later, the parents dropped off the son's stuff at his house. It did not include the porn collection. That's when the lawsuit.
Wait, why is so much?
Yes.
my God.
Now the dad has pushed back on all of this lawsuit stuff.
Oh, he did?
Yes, he says, believe it or not, one reason for why I destroyed your porn was for your own mental and emotional health. I would have done the same if I had found a kilo of crack cocaine. Someday, I hope you will understand me. Stop masturbating, you will go blind. He didn't say that. But he did say everything
Your parents
else.
just want the best for you.
Yes.
And this porn definitely ain't it.
No, it is
Right.
not.
Did you
That's
ever
extensive.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. People in the 50s thought if you masturbated, you'd go blind.
Yeah, that's
They
dumb.
did.
Yeah.
I heard that like it's good if you do that. Let's let
Now,
stress. It's okay.
Now talking about masturbation, Jonathan, because we can't seem to get off this topic here on Hump Day. The days of old-fashioned sperm collection are gone, and now the Sanwi trolley-type sperm collector, which is an electronic masturbating machine, can now, what does this? Stimulate vaginal environment and through massage, twitching, sucking vibration, act upon the human penis, which can then take the semen collection to the doctor's office. Why are we taking a semen collection to the doctor's office? For in vitro fertilization?
Yeah, and
Is that what it's for?
analysis,
Okay,
overall
for any analysis that you
Yeah.
would need to see your sperm.
Right.
Honey, I need more sperm analysis. You're like, honey, why are you having sperm analysis being done every day? Every day, honey, you're having your sperm tested by this doctor. The listing also claims that the machine invented at the Jiangsu Sony Medical Science and Technology Center is useful in reducing excitability of nerve endings. So I guess if you want to be able to last longer, you go do this machine as well.
Oh,
Only available in China.
God.
Of course.
Only available in China.
And online. For the
And
bargain
online?
price of $6,000.
Can you imagine, like, if you were married to this man, you'd be like, honey, why every day you're having your sperm? You have a medical problem? Yes, honey, I have a medical problem with my sperm. I need to get it collected again.
Oh, my God.
Yes, and for $5,000 to $6,000, as Belgium Kim said, you could have one delivered to your house.
To your door.
No, thank you.
Jonathan,
No, thank
are you interested?
No.
I can give you the website, Jonathan.
You gonna give me the money too?
I will not give you the money, but I'll give you the website.
Then it ain't gonna do nothing.
So now, an Argentinian sex toy company, now aware of the Me Too movement, has a new condom. It's called the 4 Hands condom. It requires 4 hands to rip open the condom at the same time, so that way both the male and the female are consenting to sex. The condom packs are handed out for free at bars in Buenos Aires, and insider reports say that the packs will be available on the company's website later this year. The company says it's no longer a yes or a no, it's a yes or a yes. What do you think, Jonathan? Would you want to walk around with these consent condoms? Would that make you feel safer? It would make you feel safe that you're having safe sex and that 4 hands needed?
I don't need that. It's always going to be consent, with consent.
But what happens if somebody were to say they didn't consent? They consented, I'm just taking from, there are people out there.
This is true.
Okay, and you were a gentleman. You did nothing wrong whatsoever.
Oh, that case.
You never did anything wrong. You were a gentleman. There was consensual sex, and then after she says, "I never consented," you raped.
But couldn't they still have a case though? Like say, "Oh, I got drugged," or "Oh, you got me so super drunk," and or you threatened me and said I had to pull the case. So that's like.
I guess yes.
And
you're right.
The thing about consent is that you can have the condom on you. You can be halfway through, and she can decide to say no, and that's where consent stops.
But that's what Marge Higgs just said.
Boom.
Marge Higgs just said that. What if they open it together and he actually says stop and he doesn't?
Right. That's not consent.
Yeah,
and condoms should not be any harder to open than human possible. We do not need to. No, don't give me a puzzle. Don't give me a puzzle.
Yeah, I think the consensus is bad idea.
Bad idea.
All right, let's move on. Oh, finally something that I could be proud about.
Okay.
It says fat guys have better stamina than slim guys.
Explain.
According to researchers at Akrisis University in Turkey, overweight men have better sexual stamina than those who are of normal weight. The study, which has been taking place for a year now, looked at the relationship between sexual performance and body mass. The researchers studied the body mass index and sexual performance of 100 men with sexual dysfunctions, and in contrast, they also gathered 100 men who seemed to have no problems whatsoever. And after a year-long study, it has been concluded that people with bigger body mass, especially those with bigger bellies, lasted an average of 7.3 minutes before climaxing during sex. Meanwhile, slimmer men
these pictures
were 2 minutes.
Oh, 2 minutes?
2 minutes.
Oh my God.
Jonathan, you better start putting on the weight, man.
I don't agree. Fake news.
Well, it came from...
Fake news.
It came from a very reputable source in Akrisis University.
Oh my God.
Came from... No. Fake news.
All right. Here's some better health news for you, Jonathan. You ready for this one?
All right.
Going downtown on a woman could be good for your health. What do you think of that? Fake news or real news?
It's probably real news.
70%.
Why you got that stacked if it's fake news?
All right. This is... where are we even getting this information from? You want me to read this, right, Belgium Kim? It's okay to read this?
You know what, Brad? I tried to take out as much of
You want me to read this, Belgium Kim? You gave this to me, right? Belgium Kim gives me this news.
I did not select this
All right, 70% of vaginas are dominated by one species of, I guess, bacteria.
Bacteria.
Right, which produces lactic acid and keeps your pH level at 4.5 downtown.
Lactobacillic acid.
So now this bacteria is often referred to as the probiotic, okay?
Right.
It's the good bacteria. So according to Dr. Mendes Suarez, that can't be his name, Mendes Suarez.
Swear it.
According to Dr. Mendes Suarez, there's approximately 100 million good bacteria per gram of vaginal fluid. So that's good news for people who like to go downtown. It will keep them very, very... Come on!
Yo,
Come on!
Listen,
Come on!
to repeat what LaVon D. Tucker said.
What?
She said, duh, whole babies are grown in bed. Get your vitamins.
Yeah, get your vitamins.
Yeah, it's good enough for babies. It's good enough for us. All right. And finally, the police say that a woman in New Jersey, I was shocked this happened in New Jersey instead of Florida or Arizona, where usually the crazy people are. But a woman set her boyfriend's New Jersey home ablaze after a threesome. The authorities say this woman set fire to her boyfriend's home several hours after they had a consensual sexual encounter there with another woman. The police in Woodbury, New Jersey, say, that's some picture. The police in Woodbury, New Jersey say Tasia Young told them that she had been going through a lot and was angry her boyfriend had her take a cab home after the encounter while the other woman remained at the house. So what happened was there was a threesome, and the girlfriend was sent packing, and the boyfriend kept the one-night stand.
Then you asked for it, exactly.
Yes. So she left the house and returned a few minutes later and set it on fire.
Yeah, that's trifling.
She gave the police a statement about her actions. She said her boyfriend by the name, the boyfriend's name is Young. Okay, is that the boyfriend's name?
No, we don't know the boyfriend's name.
So who's Young?
She is.
Oh, Tasia Young.
Yeah.
Okay, so she gave the police a statement about her actions and said Young even demonstrated during the interview how she sprayed lighter fluid all over the house.
Oh my God.
So Tasia Young is charged with arson, aggravated assault, criminal mischief, endangerment. Police don't know if she has an attorney to speak for her, and a phone listing could not be found.
Is Brad Bernstein trying to represent Young?
I am not trying to represent Young.
Nope.
But she's free to give us a call.
No.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our Hump Day news of the day. Belgium Kim and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias. We're going to get into our immigration section right now. Please tell everybody to share while I pull up and see who is on hold.
Absolutely. Everybody, come on now on Facebook. This is the time that you guys have been waiting for. We are going to start answering your questions from the phone calls and from social media questions. So please, right now, we need you guys to share so we can get as many as we can. Gives you guys a good show and also helps a lot of people. So when you guys share, more people will see. You can also start a watch party. So with that, it sends a little ding to all of your friends, and then they will know about the show as well. So it's even better than sharing. So let's do both, all right? Share to people's pages and WhatsApp groups, but also start your own watch party. And also don't forget to share in the instant message. And interaction, we love to hear what you guys have to say. You guys are funny as heck, I'm gonna tell you. So all those comments that you guys were saying, we keep them up because it makes the show as well. Also like, love, smile, sad face, mad face, wow face, whatever you're feeling, make sure you let us know how you feel. All right, and what we're gonna do on YouTube?
On YouTube, you guys are gonna make sure to hit the subscribe button and that little bell so that you get a notification when we go live. And of course, you guys are gonna hit that share button as well. You're gonna share that and you're gonna copy that link and share it to people in your text messages, in WhatsApp, in whatever messaging platform that you use to let people know what you're watching right now and where they can get free immigration answers. And now, the time that you've all been waiting for. It's time to get answers to your immigration questions with Getting Answers to Your Immigration Questions.
There you go. Wow, we have new graphics. I like it, Party Rock. Let's go to John in Sacramento. John.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, I jumped right in.
Okay.
I met my wife 4 years ago.
Uh-huh.
We were friends for a year. We got married 2 years before, and then we sent in our papers.
Okay.
The long and short of it, she's a Jamaican, and the moment I got the paperwork done, it just been ballistic in the house.
Are you the citizen? You're the citizen.
No, she is.
Okay. So, all right, you're Jamaican. And what do you mean by it's been ballistic? What's going on?
It's been crazy.
Tell me what's crazy, if you don't mind.
She's packing up to move. She's telling me to get out. Her kids calling me, telling me to get out.
Why? What happened? You just woke up and she went ballistic? Something must have happened.
I don't know what happened. I got when I got the interview, they approved me.
Do you have a green card?
Yes.
All right, so you've had a green. You have a 2-year green card or a 10-year green card?
10
You have a
year.
10-year. Okay, so that this is the answer, John. You have a 10-year green card. When did you get it?
About 2 months ago.
Okay, guess what? They can't take it away from you. She can't take it away from you. And if life's too hard there, get out.
Okay.
You're done with immigration. The only difference is you wait 5 years to become a citizen instead of 3. Big deal. Keep your sanity.
Okay.
All right. So pack.
Yeah,
you don't have to stay there. Pack up and leave.
sanity.
Pack up and leave. If you're pack up and leave, and keep your sanity.
Yes, sir. I really need that.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Feel
Thank you
better,
very much.
John. Get the hell out. Move on with
Okay,
life,
thank you.
and you have a green card, and you're in America, and you can make the best of your life. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right. He was concerned about moving out, how it affected. He has his 10-year. He's done.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's go to Vikram in Edison, New Jersey. Vikram.
Hey, I came to USA on H-1B visa in 2008, and unknowingly I got overstayed.
Vikram, I
And
don't
then,
understand you. Say that again.
No, I came to US on H-1B visa
Right.
in 2008.
On 2008 H-1B visa.
yeah.
Where are you from? India?
Yeah, I'm from India.
okay.
And unknowingly, I was overstayed. The company got closed.
Okay.
And I got caught with the ICE people in 2013.
Uh-huh.
I got bailed out with 5,000 and I came out. My court date is on July 2019.
Okay.
And 2016, I got married.
Great.
My wife filed
Visa petition.
filed I-130, 765, 485.
Right.
And we went to the interview and 485 got closed administratively. And she was cheated on me, something. And then I came out and I filed I-360.
Abuse case.
In October 2017. And still waiting for the I-360, still is pending.
Okay.
My court date is on next 2 months. Like July.
Well, the court's going to have to adjourn your case till the I-360 is approved, or you're going to apply for something called cancellation of removal for an abused spouse, where you just have to show you were in the United States for 3 years before you were put in removal and that you're an abused spouse. So either way, you're not going to get deported when you show up to court.
Okay.
Right,
When I go to the court,
what you're going to say is hopefully you have a lawyer.
Yeah.
Okay, and what your lawyer is going to say is, we need an adjournment because the I-360 is not approved yet.
Okay.
And then if the judge says, I'm not giving any adjournments, what else you got? Hopefully your lawyer is going to say, well, then we'll apply for cancellation of removal for an abused spouse. And then the judge has to give you time to file that application and then set it up for a hearing in the future. And hopefully your I-360 is approved. But if not, you do cancellation
I have one
for an abused spouse. Yeah.
Yeah. Forgery of my divorce affidavit.
You're breaking up.
She got the divorce without knowing me.
Say that again?
Without knowing me, without my consent, she did forgery on my affidavit.
Who did forgery?
Court date.
Who did?
My wife, she did forgery on affidavit, and she submitted in the court, and she got the divorced. And recently, I found it. I opened the court.
So
and
then,
I told the judge
go reopen the case.
Yeah, I opened it and the judge told.
That's fine. All right, it
she
all
came
goes.
to
It
my
all goes.
workplace
It all
and
goes.
she
It all goes.
threatened
It all
recently.
goes. It all goes to an abuse case.
Yeah, she came to my office like last week, and she told me and she left.
You having a lawyer? Do you have a lawyer right now?
Right now, I don't have anybody. And,
okay, you need a good lawyer. Come see me, and we'll take good care of you. Okay, hold on 1 second. All right.
This divorced one or that immigration one?
For both, but certainly for the immigration.
Certainly immigration. This court, what is going to be happen? She did forgery. Do I need a lawyer?
Your divorce is irrelevant. You have an immigration problem. You're in deportation. Okay? You need a lawyer across the board. You need divorce lawyers. You need immigration lawyers. But your most pressing problem in the world at this very moment is you don't want to get deported. I assume the less pressing problem is whether you're legally married to this woman or not. Okay? Yes. But your biggest problem right now is you don't want to be deported. You need a good lawyer. If you're calling me up, even if you do have a lawyer, and you're calling me up on this... let me finish my sentence now. Let me finish my sentence. If you're calling me up on this show, even if you do have a lawyer and you're saying, what's going to happen at my court date when I show up again? And I know nothing about your case. I just met you 3 minutes ago on a telephone, and I'm already able to tell you what's going to happen on your case, yet you have a lawyer who's unable to, who's had your case for years. That would lead me to believe I got the wrong lawyer. Hold on 1 second. All right? So I think you need help. I was thinking about that, right?
Yeah.
You know, somebody calls me up and I could tell them what's going to happen at their next deportation case, and I just spoke to them 3 minutes. And they can't get that same information from their lawyer?
Yep.
But that happens a lot. That happens a lot.
Yes.
A lot of people need to start.
Joe in Howell, New Jersey. Joe.
Hi, sir. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, I want to know if you request your file from migration, how long is going to take for you to receive it?
It depends. If you're requesting it from the immigration courts, it could take 3 months. If you're requesting it from ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement, over a year. If you're requesting it from USCIS, it could take a year. But if you're requesting a certain document and not requesting the full document, they will fast track it and do it much faster. So it depends what you're doing, who you're asking.
Okay, I'm requesting for my deportation file.
So yeah, okay. So then if you're requesting from the courts, it should take about 3 months.
Okay. So how much you charge for that? If I
$78 million.
Oh.
78. You have 78 million?
No.
Okay, I don't either. I was just hoping maybe somebody would call it would give me $78 million.
I mean, they giving out
they're giving out $200 million for Notre Dame. The reality is this: I don't quote fees over our show. But more importantly, more importantly, and I hope you didn't take me seriously about $78 million. I was being absurd. But more importantly, is there's no way for me to be able to tell you what it's going to cost, because I have to meet with you and determine how much time I'm going to spend on your case, how big of a problem you have, how much of my expertise you're going to need. Those are all three things I have to determine before I can give you my legal fee. So hold on 1 second.
I'm talking about request the file.
And I'm talking about request a file is write a letter. Okay? What you want somebody to do is review your file and see what can be done to help you. And that is actually using my brain. So hold on 1 second. So I got to figure out how much of my brain I got to use to help you, and how much time of my brain that you're going to take from me. So hold on 1 second, okay? So it's not request the file that you're really paying for, although that's time. You're really requesting for me to read it and tell you what I can do. So hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Let's go to Sam in Austin, Texas. Sam. Sam.
Hi, how are you, sir?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. So, sir, I have a pretty quick 2-3 questions. One thing is that I have a 10-year green card. So even if I get divorced from my wife, I should be good. Number 2 is that I got charged with family violence, and my charge got dismissed. It says the reason for that is my wife signed the affidavit of non-prosecution, so it says dismissed on the request of the complaining witness. So I have my citizenship interview in 2 months. Will that be a problem or not? And the third thing is that I have rescheduled my interview and I haven't got my new date yet. So how can I get a date faster? Should I send them a letter or not? So these 3 questions I have.
All right. So question number 1, you're divorced from your wife. As long as you filed for your citizenship after your 5-year anniversary, that's not a problem of having your green card. Number 2, the fact that your criminal case was dismissed, the good news is you won't get deported. They can't take your green card away from you. Whether or not you can prove good moral character depends on when did this case happen? What were the underlying facts of this case? Did it happen within the 5-year period in which you have to prove good moral character? Did it happen more than 5 years ago? If it happened more than 5 years ago, don't worry about it. If it happened within
it happened just now.
It happened just now. Okay, well then it will affect you in the sense that there's going to be a question about you whenever you're arrested within the 5-year period, even if the case is dismissed, there would always be a question whether or not you have good moral character. So yes, it will affect you. Now, you may have a question, Brad, Am I going to be able to prove good moral character? I don't know, because it all is fact-based. What did the arrest record say? Why was the case dismissed? And what else do you have? What other skeletons, if anything, do you have in your life?
Yeah, they just put me, this is the first time ever it happened with me, nothing else. And they put me
so generally, I can only give you a general answer because I don't know the facts. But the general answer is you're allowed to have a bad day. Okay? So if you got arrested one time and all the charges were dismissed, I would chalk that up, and my argument would be, I would chalk that up as, I didn't have a good day that day. That doesn't mean I'm a bad person. If, on the other hand, you have several arrests and they were all dismissed, well, it's much harder to say I had a bad day in January, in May, and in April. Okay, that's a different situation.
Right.
So, generally, it should be okay. It's my general assessment. But it's fact-based. But given all else being equal, one arrest that was dismissed, you should become a citizen.
Okay, and this thing happened after the 5 years I got my green card. So this thing happened after that.
That doesn't matter. They go back. It goes back 5 years from the time you file, and they also goes back 5 years from the interview, and it also goes back 5 years from the swearing in. They look at it from three ways.
Even if my wife divorced me, that shouldn't be a problem for my green card. They cannot take my green card away.
No, because you have a 10-year. That's not a problem.
Yeah, I have a 10 years. Okay.
That's no problem.
And then the third thing is that I requested for the interview to be rescheduled, and they have not given me the new date. So how can I expedite the process? Should I send them the letter to request for the new date? I called them also at the USCIS Service Center, but I haven't got any response.
Calling them is not going to help. The only thing you can do is follow up with a letter and hope somebody reads it.
Okay, so just send them a letter and then
hope somebody reads it. Yeah.
But that wouldn't adversely affect my case, right? It says send them the letter and ask me for the date, and they might ask that all of a sudden
no one's going to say this guy's harassing me, we're going to deny his citizenship. No. Hopefully they remember you. They read your letter. They're like, okay, we'll do something. Just write them. See what happens.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
Thank
good
you so
luck.
much, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Wilmond in New Rochelle, New York. Wilmond.
Yes.
How you doing?
Hello, I'm good. I'm Mr. Wilmond. So the problem is I married my wife overseas since 2 years ago. Right. Then I come here, I visit her like twice. My second visit, I do overstay. And then she applied for adjustment of status for me. She's a U.S. citizen. My problem is now my wife is on Section 8. And the Section 8 asks that my wife should add me on the lease. But however, my wife I have two stepchildren. The kids are on the list. My wife is the householder, but the Section 8 sent her a paper that she should, I should have to give my passport picture and then my birth certificate. Mm-hmm. Translation, but I'm scared to do that because
don't worry about it. Section 8 is a local is from local government. It's not the U.S. and the U.S. knows about you because they already filed your adjustment.
Okay, so that means I can send them the paper.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Don't worry about that.
Have a good.
Let's go to Kadia in Fort Myers, Florida. Kadia.
Hi. Good evening.
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Wonderful. What's going on?
So my question is, my husband filed for me. I came here on the H-2B visa, the work program.
Right.
I met my husband. He filed for me. We went on the interview last month. Mm-hmm. However, when we went on the interviewer raised the question that we took out the marriage license before the divorce was finalized, but we got married after the divorce was finalized. So the divorce was finalized in May 11th.
Right.
And we got married May 19th.
Right.
So he's saying that he doesn't know if it is if the marriage is valid in the state of Florida.
I don't know the laws of Florida whether or not you can buy it depends on whether you can buy a license if you're free to marry or not.
Because
I don't know the laws of Florida, so I can't answer that. But the question is this. Okay, the question is this. When you go and buy a license in the state of Florida, okay, I know in New York when you buy a license in the state of New York, you have to to get a valid license for marriage, you have to be free to marry. You can't buy the license if you're not free to marry. Now, in Florida, I don't know whether you can buy a license or not if you're free to marry. And let's assume you can't. It's like New York. I would even argue just because you couldn't buy the license doesn't mean you don't have a valid marriage. The marriage was solemnized. You were free to marry because on the day you got married, you were free to marry. So maybe you broke some sort of law on buying a license or, something like that. But I would argue that even if you did break some sort of law by buying the license without being free to marry, it doesn't invalidate your marriage. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It doesn't make it void. I don't know the answer to that, to tell you the truth, in Florida. What I would suggest that you do is that is a very, very specific legal question. And I think that you would be well, I don't want to say represented, but certainly be a smart lady and just have a consultation with us and let us look up the law in Florida. Okay?
Okay.
Hold on one second. I was stuck for the word.
Right.
I still don't know what I was trying to say, but she got it. Hold on. Let's go to Gina in Fairfax, Virginia. Gina. 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 Do we hear Gina? Do you hear Gina? Is it my volume? Gina?
I didn't hear the click either, though.
Okay, let's go to Sable in Los Angeles. Sable.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
What's going on?
I have some little question to ask.
Sure.
I win my case. I have my green card. And then if I want to travel, can I use my country passport or to use traveling document?
You got your green card through asylum?
Yeah, I get my green card from asylum.
Okay, so I would use the refugee travel document.
Okay, can you get refugee travel document?
Yes.
Okay, you can't use your country passport again.
Yeah, I mean, you could use your passport, but you got asylum, use the refugee travel document. That's what I would use.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, that's my problem.
Okay. Go get the refugee travel document. Go apply for it.
Okay, thank you.
Let's go to Gina in Fairfax, Virginia. Gina.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
What's going on?
Yeah, I have a question, please. I have my nieces. I'm from Liberia. I have my nieces in Liberia, and I wanted to adopt. The mother is dead.
Okay, how old are the nieces?
I have a 3-year-old. I have 11 and 17.
Whoa, okay. 17. When does 17 turn 18?
You're turning 18 this year, November this year.
When did the mother die?
She died in July last year, July 12th last year.
So you have to file an orphan petition. The orphan petition needs to be filed before the children turn 16. You have a 17-year-old there. Now, the 17-year-old, there's an exception in the law for orphan petitions that you can do. You can bring in a child who's under 18 as long as you're also adopting a child under 16 who's a sibling. So the 17-year-old still has a possibility of coming, but the orphan petitions need to be filed before the child turns 18. But there are some preconditions to filing an orphan petition. Is their father alive? Where's the father?
Yeah, the 3 fathers are alive. They are alive.
Okay.
They are back home.
So the father has to be stripped of his parental rights. Okay, because if the father consents to an adoption, these children are not orphaned. That's something that has to happen before we file an orphan petition. It's done by the courts in whatever country these children are in. You have to do what's called a pre-adoption. A pre-adoption is you go to the courts in Virginia and say, I got these 3 kids in, where are they, in Africa, you said?
Yeah, Liberia.
In Liberia.
Yeah,
I got these 3 kids in Liberia. I want to bring them over as orphans. Hey, court, can you check me out and sign a piece of paper to say that you would do this adoption for me here in Virginia once these kids come? It's called the pre-adoption. These are all preconditions that have to happen before you file an orphan petition. And we got to file this orphan petition before the child turns 18 or the child's not going to get an orphan petition. So you have exactly 0 minutes to waste to do this if you want to get the 17-year-old. We'll try to help you the best we can. I hope the 17-year-old doesn't turn 18 till the end of the year, not next month. Okay, if it's next month.
No, he turned 18 in November.
All right, so we got 6 months. Not a lot of time. Hold on 1 second, okay?
All right.
Hold on. All right, so with that, Belgium Kim and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias, I do have to remind everybody that I do have an Instagram page. It's called @RealBradBernstein, and if you follow me, @RealBradBernstein, and I know you from the Brad Squad, I promise you I will follow you back, and you can text me like Mia Montauk, and you can also tell me all about yourself, and we will feature you in getting to know the Brad Squad. In addition, Belgium Kim.
Yes.
Oh, I would be neglectful to say that we also have a Instagram for @BradShowLive.
Right.
And you can follow our show @BradShowLive too, so please follow us there as well. And Belgium Kim, you have an Instagram too.
I do, @Belgium Kim. I saw that you guys followed me, so thank you. Keep doing it.
Yes, then mine is @Jonathan Elias TV.
Boom.
Anything else to say about it?
You can go on mine right now and see a little sneak peek of a dope interview that I did, and it was really fun, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. So go on the page and see.
So meanwhile, Spar and Bernstein immigration attorney Abadir Barre is working to help our viewers who have been waiting for their green card interviews for more than a year now, or has been waiting for the outcome of their interviews after 4 months and no results from immigration. In the time of Trump, it's more important than ever for people to get their immigration status resolved. So here in another snippet of Abadir Sues the Government, we're talking about mandamus, we're talking about people who have not gotten their green cards, why their adjustment applications are taking so long, why they went for an adjustment interview and they still don't have a decision, and what the hell they should be doing all about this. Let's watch. A green card or a permanent resident card is evidence of your lawful permanent residence in the United States. Being a lawful permanent resident of the United States allows you to work in America legally. It allows you to live legally in America for the rest of your life if that's what you choose to do. Now, before a person gets their green card, if they're living in the United States of America, they need to have an adjustment interview. The adjustment interview is your green card interview. It allows the officer to interview you to determine if you're a person of good moral character, and it also allows them to determine whether or not you're eligible for the benefit that you're applying for, which is your green card. Many times people are eligible for the benefit they're applying for because they're married to a citizen, whether the parent of a United States citizen or the child under the age of 21 of a United States citizen, but then find themselves inadmissible because they fall within a category of people the United States deems not worthy of living in America, whether because you have a criminal record or have some sort of health issue or you've lied to the government in the past. Regardless, people should have their adjustment interviews within 6, 9, 10 months of applying, because an adjustment interview should be granted to you within a short period of time because you're eligible immediately for this benefit, which is the green card. You shouldn't have to wait years and years and years for the benefit in which the law says you're immediately eligible for. I have Abadir Barre here in another edition of Abadir Sues the Government, who is a federal litigation attorney, and he's here to tell you what you need to do if your adjustment interview is pending more than 12 months. Abadir, let's start off with a green card. Tell me what the green card is. What does it look like?
It's a permanent resident card. Officially used to be green, and then it changed colors, and now it's back to being green. So it's the term of the coin, green card. But it's your legal permanent resident card. It allows you to stay in the United States lawfully. It allows you to work, to travel outside the United States and return. And it gives you pretty much all the benefits except applying for elections, jury duty, that are reserved to citizens. The
only thing that you can't do with a green card is you can't vote.
Right.
Can't be on a jury. You can't be the president of the United States.
Correct.
Short of that, I don't even think you can be a congressman or a congresswoman.
Yes, you can be. Yeah, you cannot.
Cannot.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I don't even believe you can be a police officer. So there's certain jobs that you can't have either.
Yes.
Okay. So, but besides that, you're pretty much the same as a U.S. citizen. Now, when you apply for your adjustment of status, the government will only accept your adjustment application if the green card is immediately available to you.
Correct.
So if a green card is not immediately available to you, meaning that I filed my adjustment application on January 1st, that means on January 1st, I am eligible for that green card. I am eligible on January 1st to be a lawful permanent resident of the United States.
Correct.
What happens when the government says, okay, we're going to accept your application, you are eligible to be a permanent resident of the United States, but now we're going to make you wait 3 years to be a permanent resident? A, why is that happening? And B, what should we do about it?
Well, first of all, it's happening because this administration claim it's a backlog, but previous administrations are moving on them much quicker. They just don't want to give more immigrants lawful permanent resident status. What people fail to understand is Trump is not just after illegal immigration. He's after legal immigration. And he's done many things that are circumvented the policies and procedures to curb legal immigration. And this is one of them.
So when Trump says he's all in favor of legal immigration, he's against illegal immigration, that's also not true.
That's
hashtag fake news.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? So this orange guy, he's against legal immigration because he has to be. Because if you're eligible for a green card in January 1st and they make you wait 36 months for a green card, that's not being eligible for a green card.
Absolutely not,
That's a long time.
That's long. And like I say, a visa delayed is a visa denied.
That is exactly right. I like that line. I'm going to use that. A visa delayed is a visa denied.
The old adage is justice delayed is justice denied. A visa delayed is a visa denied.
Yeah, because a lot could happen in those 3 years. Okay, let's say you're married. Your spouse passes away. You get into a fight with your spouse. They no longer want to sponsor you, but you are eligible on that day.
Yes. And I want to point out to people that they say that it's 18 months or it's 20 months. But think about this. When you get your medical, how long is it good for? 1 year. Because it's supposed to be processed within that year.
Correct.
But now people are left to do their medicals over and over.
Or at the time of their interview. They don't even bother. You don't even bother filing your medical anymore.
Because it's taking much longer than a year.
So now somebody who's waiting more than 12 months for their adjustment interview, they should have been granted. Under no other administration, not under Reagan, not under Bush the First, not under Clinton, not under W, certainly not under Obama, did anybody ever, in my career, wait more than 12 months for an adjustment interview until Donald Trump. Okay, really it should be 6 months.
Yes.
That should be the goal of their processing time. It should be 6 months for adjustment, it should be 6 months for naturalization.
Right.
Okay? Sometimes it went 9 months, 10 months, but over 12 months, when you're eligible immediately for that benefit, and they're telling you got to wait 3 years for a benefit that you're immediately eligible for, that is a violation of every tenet of the Immigration and Nationality Act.
Yeah, and he's doing that purposely because he doesn't want legal immigration, especially family-based legal immigration, and particularly legal immigration from people that are outside of the countries of like Norway and Scandinavia, but outside of that.
So if somebody's waiting more than 12 months for their adjustment interview that they rightfully should have gotten within the first 12 months, what do you do?
File a mandamus act.
We've talked about this in multiple episodes before.
Right.
Tell us again, what is a mandamus?
A writ of mandamus is a lawsuit to the federal courts, because immigration is federal law and the federal courts have jurisdiction. And that act gives the federal judge the power to mandate USCIS to discharge their non-discretionary statutory duty of processing the application. So, in other words, it's layman terms for saying they have to give an up and down vote on that.
It's a federal judge saying to a lower administrative body, make a decision.
Yes, and it's an order.
And you better do it because it's a federal order. You'd be in violation of a federal judge.
Right.
All right, so we're going to do something we call social media check-in, but it's social media check-in speed round. It's the speed round of social media check-in. We're going to answer 40 social media questions in 10 minutes. Okay? That means each question, we have 10 minutes. Where we need our statistician Marge. Okay?
Yeah.
That means we're going to play. Okay, we have 10 minutes to answer 40 questions. So that's going to be how much time do I have to answer each question to have it read and answered? That would be 40 divided by 600.
Or 600.
600, right? Because it's 600.
No.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's 600 seconds
right.
in 10 minutes.
Oh.
Right.
So 600 seconds divided by 40 gives us 15 seconds. 15 seconds per.
Okay.
Okay, Yo-Yo?
We're ready. We're ready.
Are you ready? I have 15
I was just trying to make
okay,
sure.
you have 15 seconds to ask the question and for me to give an answer to get through 40 in 10 minutes.
We got this.
We are going, at one point, if we continue to do this, maybe what we will call Guinness Book of World Records. And see how many, we'll come up with, right? That's a good idea, right? And we'll see if we can put together enough social media questions that I don't know the answers to, that I will answer in a certain amount of time, right?
I like it.
But right now we gotta practice.
Right.
We do, because we're a part of that as well.
We are.
Yes. You're gonna be part of the Guinness Book of World Records.
It's like Steve Harvey's Family Feud. Right after you read that first one, all the questions count for their time for the rest of them.
That's correct.
This is
right.
true.
Right. They just have to tell what the survey thinks.
Right,
I gotta actually give a legal answer.
Okay, here we go.
All right, one second. It's at 7:30 now. We're gonna wait for Marge Higgs to tell us 7:31 because we want 10 minutes. It's 7:31. Let's go.
Let's go. Our first question is from Mushi Bear, who said, "How long does it take to get back a receipt letter from USCIS? My lawyer said 6 to 8 weeks."
3 to 4 weeks.
Navneet says, I-485 AOS interview and this is employment. Do I need to carry tax docs for an interview and can I expect any questions relating to tax deductions, donations, other child or dependent care from an officer?
You need to bring your tax returns because you got to show that you're working where you're supposed to be working in an employment sponsorship.
Mohammed said, I got an update to my case that says we are scheduled for an interview for the form I-485. So what does that mean and when can I get the actual notice?
It means that your documents are prepared, but they will not schedule you until they have an opening. So you may wait anywhere from 6 weeks to 24 months.
Irfan says, I have 2 EAD cards, C9 and C31. So if I have to renew my EAD, should I send the USCIS C31 category application right? Also, do I have to pay the fees again? I paid when renewing.
Do it based on C9.
And does he have to pay the fees again?
No, he does not.
Zachary said, my mom was refused a visitor's visa twice because according to the consulate, she stayed the last visit 5.5 months. She did not overstay and I'm applying for an immigrant visa. Can they refuse it based on the tourist visa?
No, because that's an immigrant intent.
Kershid said, I'm married to a U.S. citizen, passed fingerprints on December 13th, and USCIS website says April 3rd, case changed, ready for scheduled interview. But how long does it take for the interview notice in the mail?
See the last 3 questions before, 6 weeks to 24 months.
Ali Boo said, who's the money ordered for an adjustment of status paid to? The U.S.
Department of Homeland Security.
There we go.
Gautam says, is it essential to keep the H-1B on the side or do the H-1B extension since it's coming due when EMP, employment-based AOS, was filed under EB3 based on data filing?
You don't need to do the H-1B anymore. You'll get a work permit and a travel document advance parole.
Okay, follow-up is how long will it take to get the EAD card?
6 months.
Okay.
Ken said,
it's been over 4 months.
So wait 2 more months.
2 more months.
Ken asks, if you had to Denalia said, if you had to reschedule your interview, how long do you have to wait for a new interview?
I don't know what the interview is, but figure you're at the back of the line.
Zone says, hey Brad, I got my biometric date for the 25th of this month. My passport is expired and when and look about it on Monday, but I won't get it back in time to do the biometric. Should I reschedule?
Just go when you get the passport and just show up late.
We've got a question from Gautam who said, my friend started, sorry, we already asked his. Sandra said, my friend got 2 public intoxication charges 4 years ago. 1 he pled guilty, 2 got dismissed. He's been a permanent resident since '84. Is he going to have any issue applying for his citizenship?
Yes, because public intoxication is bad moral character.
First Lady Hewitt says, big up Brad, can a person sponsor more than 1 person, not specifically at the same time?
Yes, you can sponsor as many people as you want.
Tali said, I have an interview coming up next month to adjust my status through marriage. We only have 2018 joint tax returns so far. What can we do?
Well, it's April 15th. You were only married for 1 year, then that's all you need. If you were married before 2018, then you should go amend your tax returns.
Juliet says, my husband is a green card holder for 4 years. He filed the I-130. I'm approved. How long will he file? Will he file for his citizenship?
3 months before his 5-year anniversary.
My friend, Sherry says, my friend's husband is in prison. He's been sentenced for 7 years. Would USCIS continue to renew her work permit until he comes out? He's in for attempted murder.
Yes.
Ken Kibet says, how long is a good wait time for a VAWA case through abuse by a U.S. citizen, and when is it overdue for me to take action and sue the government if need be?
24 months.
D. Bean said, what are the documents that you most likely have to present or will be asked for at the embassy in Barbados after you receive a waiver on a marriage to a U.S. citizen husband?
You won't need to show anything. You just maybe updated affidavit of support.
Claire Beauty says, my husband earns $850 weekly. However, it's $400 on check and $450 in cash. Will that be a problem when we go for the interview?
As long as you declare the cash on the tax return, no. If you don't, then you're cheating the government. It's a problem.
Shiv said, I got an EAD card on February 19th of this year, and my I-45 is pending from that time. How many months until I get the approval letter?
12 to 24 months from the time you file.
Overcoming says, do college students need to have income to sponsor their parents, or joint sponsor will do?
Joint sponsor will do.
MS said, my mother is my sponsor and is currently unemployed. My aunt is going to joint sponsor me soon. Do I need to present both of their bank statements during my interview, even if my mom is unemployed?
Yes.
Monica Laws says, a friend of mine who is here on his 10-year green card now ready for his citizenship, but he was arrested 2 times, but there was no case. Can he go ahead and file?
He can file for his citizenship, but he has a moral character issue. If it happened more than 5 years ago, it's not a problem. If it happened in the last 5 years, he may need a lawyer.
Tali said that her sponsor didn't file taxes on time this year. Can she bring the W-2s and the pay stubs to her immigration interview as proof of continuous income, or should she get another sponsor?
As long as the tax return's on extension, just bring proof of what her current income is.
Donna says, my wife is going to be a citizen next month. How long to bring her siblings from Nepal for permanent residence?
15 years.
Tanya said, should undocumented peeps fill out the 2020 census?
No.
Donna says, how long does a green card holder have to be in the States before he can marry to a non-citizen?
The day he comes.
Glama said, can you travel back to your country once you get asylum?
Not until you're a citizen.
Magnola, oh, I didn't even know that. Magnola said,
because you're claiming that your life's in danger.
And you're going back.
And you're going back.
Right.
Then you lie.
I mean, it makes sense.
If you're a citizen, they won't take it away at that
point. Right, that makes sense. Yeah. Magnola says, my husband passed away in 2017. Sorry about that. And I filed the widower form, and it was approved, but because of my port of entry, they said I have to go back. What can I do?
A widower form?
Yes.
But why is she going back?
It was approved, but the port of entry said that she has to go back.
I don't know what happened, but she was found inadmissible at the airport. I would need to see her records.
We've got a question from Changed Name, who said, I want to know if I can do my immigration medical before I put in my paperwork.
Do it at the time of the interview.
And second, my spouse cannot find his birth certificate and doesn't have a passport. What do we do to actually start the paperwork?
Tell him to go prove that he's a citizen. He has no proof he's a citizen right now. You don't have a passport, you don't have a birth certificate.
Harry says, I received receipt number this April month. I
actually want to go back. Go to the Department of Health and Human Services of the state he was born in, get the birth certificate, and then go apply for the passport. I should give the proper answer. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes. Harry says, I received receipt number this April month, my I-485, I-131, and I-765. Can you please tell me what I get the biometric, or when I get the biometric date?
About 8 weeks to 12 weeks after you file.
Okay, and when I receive the EAD and travel card,
6
my
months
case
after you
in
file.
New York? Okay.
Rodine said, do I need a lawyer? I get my green card to get my green card after an arrest.
Yes.
Go to the next one.
Pretty Mon Love said, if I file an I-360 and now they send me a letter to go do a biometric at USCIS, should I be worried?
No.
Anita says, in November 2019 is going to be 2 years waiting for my VAWA answer. How much longer?
File a mandamus. You shouldn't wait more than 2 years.
And very finally, Claudio said, can I use a prima facie to pass an immigration checkpoint?
Yes.
That's all we got.
Wow.
In under 10 minutes.
That's it?
That's it. Woo! I mean, there are more flying through the comments. There's
all right,
a couple more,
so what we're going to do is this, all right? Kim.
Yeah.
You went to see an Ethiopian circus, right?
Yes.
Yes, you did.
I did.
Yes.
I did.
You did, right?
I did.
You
I did. Back in December.
Back in December.
I did.
But we played it.
Yeah.
And it was we didn't see the whole thing.
Yeah. We didn't get to ever see it.
So what we're going to do is we're going to see Kim visit the Circus Abyssinia, which is an Ethiopian circus.
Yes.
Jonathan. And it's the only Ethiopian circus created by and for Ethiopian artists. We're going to watch this. Leave your comments. We're going to have one more speed round. We're going to do all of our questions for the next speed round in under 4 minutes. So leave all your questions, but let's watch Kim at the Ethiopian circus.
Hey Brad Squad, today we have run off and joined the circus. That is Circus Abyssinia, Ethiopian Dreams. Ethiopian brothers Bibi and Bichu have started the only circus created by Ethiopian artists for Ethiopian artists, and they have taken Broadway by storm since they arrived November 30th at the new Victory Theater. We're taking you inside the show, and of course, we've got your backstage passes where Bibi and Bichu will join us to tell us how they juggled their way into international circus stardom. Check it out. The moment has arrived, backstage passes were promised, and we are here with Bibi and Bichu. So we just watched the show. That was phenomenal. That blew my mind. What is the show? For the people who haven't seen it, what is the show about?
The show is based on our story, me and my brother. Well, we grew up in Ethiopia. Circus wasn't even a thing when we started, it was a long time ago. What we did was, as you do after school activities, some kids play football, some kids do it, but we always wanted to do something different, so we started doing gymnastics.
Okay.
So we didn't know anything about juggling then. We wanted to show off. So there's a little park thing outside of our house, so we did like just gymnastics, doing front, and people gather around, and they just watch us. We did that for fun. And we were like, okay, this is interesting. Maybe we should keep it going. One of our teachers was from Canada. He knew about Circus Soleil, so he knew how to juggle. So he was like, yeah, maybe I should show you something different. You might like it. So he started juggling. He was like, oh my God, what is that? You know? So we'd never seen it before. We got into it and we got kind of hooked. So we never stopped. So we didn't have all the materials at that time. So all we had to do is like, you go home, you cut your socks, people's socks, you fill it up with seed, whatever you can find, or fruits and stuff like that. So that's how we started juggling.
Wow.
So we didn't know how far we could take it. All of a sudden, we fell in love with juggling. Right then, we were quite young. We were
13, 14, I think.
Wow. Yeah.
But in Ethiopia, you don't have that kind of stuff. The circus is not going to roll to your town or village to do, like it's a big topping. It's never happened. It's still not happening in Ethiopia as well. Yeah,
okay.
No. But we had a dream, so we wanted to do that and we wanted to join a circus.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to put on this, tell the story. We managed to move to England, join a circus.
Traveling circus.
Traveling circus. And finally, we had our own circus. It's not just me and my brother. There's a lot of dreamers who wants, back in Ethiopia, who wants to join the circus and travel around. So we had to give that opportunity, and while we're telling our story.
There's obviously like the joke of like, I'm gonna run off and join the circus. When you told your family, we're going to run off and join the actual circus, what was the reaction?
Our dad still thinks it's literally, we're just playing around. He just doesn't, he doesn't actually think it's a real job, you know what I mean? It's like,
it's always been like that.
It's always been like that.
Haven't you been doing this for like 25
forever,
years
forever,
now?
Forever. Yeah, literally, you can go and tell your family, like, I'm gonna run away with the circus and try. But in Ethiopia, you can't do that because they never experienced that.
We had talked a little bit about this, but you were really passionate about giving other performers in Ethiopia an opportunity. How did you guys do that?
My brother, he went to Ethiopia about 6, 7 years ago, back home. So he met up with the guy he used to teach us some gymnastics, you know, when we were young. We haven't seen him for a long time and had like a circus school. It's been running for a while, but he's about to shut down because of lack of funds and materials. And there's an opportunity to give back, and then let's see if we can do something. And then we start supporting that circus school. It's called Circus Wingate.
Okay.
So most of the kids that are here that came from that circus.
Just trying to help with all prophecy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just asking friend and family in London if you can give us all costumes, all those kind of stuff. It makes massive difference back home in Ethiopia. And we start doing that, and then in 2 weeks' time, we had a lot of kids signing, enjoying it. We saw the potential of it as well. There were some kids who literally the standard was really high, and we just need to give them a workshop as well. It's because there was a passion inside of them.
Based off of the fact that they were seeing support come for this school increased. Yeah. So how many of your performers now are from circus schools in Ethiopia?
10 of the performers you see, they're from Circus Wingate, from our school, yes.
And how many people in the company right now that we saw tonight?
18 of us.
So 10 of the 18 are from that school.
That's right.
So a lot of them seem pretty young. What's the average age of the performers?
The age is from 14 to 27.
The ones who are really young, are they still in school? How can they tour and do everything?
They're still in school, but we've got this long distance education we do.
Oh, cool.
They're with Guardian as well, they look after them bedtime, study time, go to their school as well and speak to the school and get what we need while they're touring. They have to study and then go back to bed, and then that's a routine. We have to balance it.
How much do you guys rehearse during the week?
Before we open, it's like 2 hours a day.
That's amazing. What's the next stop after New York?
Next stop will be in Adelaide, Australia. We'll be back as well in Minnesota, and then we're doing a European tour as well. This is all Circus Abyssinia.
Were you guys expecting this kind of success and to be this booked up?
To tell you the truth, no.
We knew we have a quality, but we didn't know how fast it took off. It's only been a year. The company's been brand new, but
we still can't believe we here in the Broadway and with our own circus. We're so grateful to be here.
And we love to see it.
Yeah, we've got 2 different shows here. The one you see that's the public show. There's in the morning, in weekdays we do school shows, and the school shows are amazing. This is the first time we've done school shows as well, and we can't wait.
It's a pretty family-friendly show. Do you guys always do family-friendly shows?
It's all family-friendly show. To come from Ethiopia, it's a little village called Jima. To end up in a Broadway is
in New York.
It's in New York. It's a massive inspiration for any kids, and that will tell anyone, wherever you come from, you can do it. If you've got a dream, stick to it, dedication, and that's it.
You can absolutely tell that that's the energy you bring forward. Why did you guys decide to do this as a perspective of your childhoods and in a dream sequence?
When we told people how we end up in London, how we work in a circus, everyone is fascinated about, like, wow, you've got a really good story. You should speak to the movie director, or you should write it down. We were just like, no, actually we should do it. It makes sense if we do it actually in a stage using our story and in a circus. That makes more sense than doing a movie or writing a book.
I spend the entire time worried that someone's gonna fall. As you watching these things happen, and are you guys worried about this?
Even you walk around, there's always, might be an accident, you might get in an accident or anything. But with the circus, the discipline is safety. Safety first for everything. We have professionals who help us out as well. When we send our friends back in Ethiopia to do workshop, we'll teach them how they have to look after them, and even just literally stretching from little tiny things, warming up 2 hours before the show and everything. So that helps.
The last thing we say is safety first, just before we start the show.
When a guy is balancing on 8 shelves, I'm not feeling like that's very safe. Where are you hoping to take this show?
For us, this is just the beginning. We want to take this show all over the world, even back in Ethiopia.
To show people, to inspire people, and give more opportunity as well. There's a lot of artists back in Ethiopia. The one you see here, they might not be in Adelaide. We have to give an opportunity for the upcoming artists as well to experience what to be on the stage and
give other kids a drive.
Something to aspire.
Yeah, it's not just the one group go out there and do the thing. We're
so hopefully, we'll expand it, have another Circus Abyssinia, two Circus Abyssinia to go out in different ways.
How do you go from we're moving to London to join the circus to where you are today?
So we moved to London. And we got lucky because we met Sean Gandini. He's a juggler. He's at the company. There's a circus school in London, so we used to go and practice. Just me and him. Well, he's an amazing guy. He's still supporting us. We worked with him for 2 years just to have that experience. Oh, wow. Because we had a plan already, so we just wanted to do our own thing.
Even though it was hard work, it taught us a lot. We worked for that circus for 11 years. It's one of the biggest circuses in UK, pretty much. It taught us a lot, how to build your dream and how to get to where you want to be. All that experience helped us out to create the Circus Abyssinia. We wouldn't be here without him, for sure. Not just us, even the kids, you know what I mean? Everything wouldn't happen if it wasn't for him. And we're very grateful to have a friend, a mentor like Sean Gandini.
So how many kids have you guys now been able to successfully put through the school and take on tour with you if you change it so often?
Around 150 kids.
That are at the school now?
At the school now.
Wow, 150 kids, that's huge. So circus culture in Ethiopia must be growing for 150 kids to be.
Very much so. As soon as we get a chance, we're trying to do a show back in Ethiopia.
So you haven't been able to do a show in Ethiopia
We haven't done this show yet. There's a lot of good artists back in Ethiopia. Working around the world as well, different circus, which is amazing now. Just to see supporting the family, friends, and changing their life, it's amazing.
So something that really struck me in the show, the music was so good. Can you tell me a bit about this music? Is it all original?
When we planned this our show, we know we definitely need our own culture, our music in it. And it was really hard to choose because everyone here, you see the artists, they got used to working on European music and it was really challenging for them to give them, you need to work on this, and they believe us, it will work on it, you'll love it. But once we got it and once they adapt it, now I can't even change anything, you know what I mean? They're just like, no, this is our music, don't touch our music.
Like a baby.
What is your favorite act in the show?
It's really hard to choose which one is which and which act. So I don't know. I don't know if I can answer that.
Bits and pieces from everything. I know that you guys had some visa issues. What visa are you guys on? And then what happened with the visa issues?
We are on P1 visa. There's a 15-year-old girl who's an amazing hula hooper. Traveled with us internationally
in London, Edinburgh.
And the first reason given was they didn't have enough work experience, which we provide that. They've worked in Ethiopia at different festivals, and then the second time when we appealed, travel experience, which is
doesn't make any sense.
Right. The same problem in Australia. We were a week late to get into Australia as well. With a visa issue, but we managed to get in.
The kids will get really disappointed. They work really hard, they get prepared and then can't go away.
But still grateful. I mean, the 10 of us we're here, so we're still grateful. Most of us we got through.
The bigger the show gets,
exactly,
the easier that will be.
That's what we hope so. That's what we hope for.
You have a huge focus on dreamers. We know that you ask the kids what is their dream for the future. So I'll ask you, what is your dream for the future?
My dream for the future will be take the Circus Abyssinia Ethiopian dreams, take it to the next level. Hopefully all over the world, back in Ethiopia, and then show everyone if you dream big, anything is possible. Work hard, dedicate yourself. We came from Ethiopia, from a small village. We're here in New York, so anything is possible.
My dream for the future is inspiring people. There's a massive movement, especially in Ethiopia. Everything is changing at the moment. I think people need to be nice to each other. I really want to see that more and given opportunity, equality as well.
You got to come check out BB&B Chutas Mariam because they are going to blow you away. Thanks, Brad Squad. Until next time.
All right, so we have one more round, speed round. Belgium Kim tells me, where's the speed round graphic? Maybe we got it, maybe we don't. But Belgium Kim tells me, Belgium Kim tells me There are 9 questions. And Jonathan said 9 questions, 90 seconds, 1.5 minutes. You ready?
That's taking part of the time.
That's taking part of the time. All right. 9 questions, 90 seconds. Let's go.
All right. Anita Martinez says in November 2019 is going to be 2 years waiting on my VAWA answer. How much longer?
You should do a mandamus.
Gautam says, what happens if the EAD card arrives after the H-1B I-94 has expired? Is one violating their status? And if so, what should be done?
No, you're not violating your status because I assume you have a pending adjustment.
Ash says, if my I-130 already approves, is that going to speed up my AOS?
Maybe, yeah.
We've got a question from Pamela who says, can you file for... It's Pamela.
I know, but
we don't have to. Can you file for citizenship as well while waiting for removal of conditions?
You can, but it's going to be a more difficult case.
First Lady Hewitt says, big up, yo-yo, big up. First Lady Hewitt. If I filed FOIA request and was told it would take 8 months, is it really going to take that long?
If that's what they told you.
George is asking for his friend who was VAWA. Their VAWA was approved. She also has advanced parole. Could she travel? She was denied at the marriage interview, but now VAWA is approved. She came on a fake passport.
She should not travel if she came on a fake passport because there's a misrepresentation issue. She could have a problem at the airport.
Even though she has advanced parole?
Correct.
Anuj says, does 90-day rule count for marriage-based petition if beneficiary is in the U.S. on an H-1B visa?
Yes, it does.
MS said, you said Trump is making it harder for legal immigration. Does that include citizens from Barbados or the Caribbean, such as myself, waiting for my green card interview?
Yes, it does. And let me go back to the H-1B. I changed my mind on that. It doesn't matter the 90 days because H-1B has an immigrant and non-immigrant intent.
Aha.
So I take that back.
Okay. Rodine? Brad, got my green card after my arrest 10 years ago. Now I want to go for my citizenship. Do I need a lawyer? The arrest is 10 years ago.
Yes, if the arrest was 20 years ago, you need a lawyer.
And we've got one final question from Avery who said, my EAD has been 180 days exactly. I'm seeing a lot of January approvals and no interview or EAD for me yet. Is that normal? I'm for an I-485 based K-1.
No, it's not normal.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, and I would have done 90 seconds. I think it was the question, the people who were asking the questions were a little slow.
Also, we did not ask 9 questions, Brad. We asked 1, 2, 3, 4,
March
5, 6, 7,
9.
8. We asked 10 questions, Brad.
Well then there it is. There it is. All right, we like to do something at the end of the show where we applaud the squad for their witty, nice, witty comments, nice comments, or just simple compliments to us. Let's do comments of the day. And there's no music for comments of the day. There it is.
Our very first comment is from First Lady Hewitt, who said, I had a dream last night that the new 2020 president named Brad Bernstein the general director of the Department of Homeland Security / USCIS. I was so happy until I woke up and I realized that it was just a dream. #pissed.
Oh, wow. She really thought it was
DHS head.
It's so funny because I had a dream last night that I was the President of the United States, also the head of the Department of Homeland Security.
Wow.
And I woke up too, and I'm #pissed as well.
Oh.
Listen, that's crazy. I had a dream that First Lady Hewitt was president. So that was crazy.
All right, our second comment of the day comes from Carol, the Top Cat Tigress 2 Anderson, saying, Brad, Kim, Jonathan, you guys are so unique together. You really make the Brad Team Show a wonderful thing for all to watch. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Aww,
that means a lot.
Thank you. That's really sweet.
Thank you. Oh,
there's the drum roll.
There it is.
And,
okay.
And we've got one from Willie Williams, who learned a very key lesson today for Hump Day, Brad.
What did you learn?
Today on Hump Day News, I learned that I eat healthy.
Bravo, Willie. Bravo.
Well done, Willie.
Well done.
Get your vitamins.
That's right.
He has a lot of probiotics, that Willie.
All the probiotics.
As LeBron D. Tucker advises, get your vitamins.
Right.
And our last Are we going to get a drum roll for this? Our last comment of the day. Probably not then. I guess. Comes from Rococo Chocolat saying, I passed my citizenship test thanks to Shannon and your team.
All right.
Congratulations.
All right. So we have a frozen thing.
Yeah.
So I will have to do the credits myself.
Yeah.
The following presentation has been an attorney advertisement. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome. But
so Sam, as part
but if I were you, I would just for the production, we follow along.
You have to say this.
We tried. All right, I'm going to reenact it. Sam, I'll do it myself.
Right.
The following presentation has been an attorney advertisement. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-529-5465. I've heard this for 10 years already. 1-800-LAWLINK. Call us now with all of your immigration questions, and we are going to say goodbye. There will be no credits. What can we do?
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.